Hello everyone, Lytro Storm here, and today we'll be heading back into the present timeline with What If Vegeta Rebelled Early, Part 6. In the last part, we discussed what went down in the future timeline now that we have Nappa and Raditz in the mix. I'll give a short recap, but first let's try and shoot for 250 likes for me to get to work on Part 7 immediately. But basically what happened last time was Raditz and Yajirobe being the only survivors of the android attack. They trained up Gohan and eventually Raditz's kids, Icarus and Letta, as well as Vegeta's son Trunks. With all of them training together, they grew far stronger than canon future Gohan and Trunks. Eventually, Gohan, Raditz, and Yajirobe died to the androids, and the kids were forced to continue training and waiting until Bulma finished her time machine. She eventually did, and now Letta and Trunks are going back in time to warn Goku of the androids. Alright, so that's the recap, so let's just go ahead and get into the video. First though, just as a reminder, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you can help the channel grow more and support my content. It also lets me know you enjoy the content that's coming out so I can make more of it. As always, be sure to join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. Links in the description. So in the future timeline, we had Vegeta and Nappa kill Frieza and King Cold, but here, Letta and Trunks will do so instead. As Super Saiyans, they easily kill them with no hesitation. Everyone questions who they are, and while Trunks tries to hide it, Letta is far more open to their questions. She sees her father Raditz and begins to have a reaction, but Trunks makes sure that she doesn't do more than she has to. He tells her to stay focused or they'll mess things up, and eventually as they wait for Goku, Letta does let it slip that they're from the future. Trunks is forced to just go along with this, although begrudgingly. Goku arrives and Trunks and Letta prepare to test him. However, Vegeta also wants in on it, going Super Saiyan. They agree and now Letta faces Vegeta while Trunks faces Goku. Now, I want to preface that Trunks and Letta are far stronger than canon Trunks was. I mean, Trunks trained with Gohan when he was like 15, whereas these two trained with Raditz, Gohan, Yajirobe, Icarus, and each other before they were even 10. And once the adults died, they still had each other to train with, whereas Trunks only had himself. So they have to hold back a lot, just so that way they don't kill or injure Goku and Vegeta. Letta actually lets some of her power slip through and body slams Vegeta, and Nappa sees this and uses a Kaioken x20 to attack her, but she blocked it. Trunks saw this and immediately went back down into his base and called the fights off. He then gave Goku the heart medicine and told him of the two androids. The two then left afterward. With this, the group split into 3 teams. Vegeta and Nappa went to Capsule Corp to train in the gravity chamber, all the Earthlings went to train on their own, and Goku, Raditz, and Piccolo planned on training, and also training up Gohan. Now I think that Raditz would encourage the Earthlings to at least train together if they aren't going to train with them, since this could mean life or death, and it's best to be safe. They agree to this and all train as a group. Goku, Raditz, and Piccolo all go back and convince Chi-Chi to finally let Gohan train, as it could mean the fate of the entire world. Chi-Chi sadly agrees like in canon, however she is definitely less sad, as here he is not trained much other than a little bit in the Saiyan saga to get himself to bullet level. Goku then takes Gohan to Kame House, where he lets Roshi train him for 8 months, just like he had done for him. Raditz also lets Icarus and Letta train with Gohan, as it would help get them prepared as well. However, they wouldn't be taking part in any further training. Gohan would be there with Piccolo and Raditz while also monitoring Gohan's training. After the 8 months were complete, they took him in and began training with him. He was still nowhere near his canon counterpart, as he hasn't trained at all since the Saiyan saga, just like I said before. Anyway, with that out of the way, it's time to move on to the android saga. The Z Fighters searched around for the androids and eventually found them. No Yamcha absorption this time, as there's more people, which means someone can help Yamcha if he gets jumped. Goku then fought 20, while Raditz fought 19. Despite being weaker than his brother, Raditz was actually beating 19 whilst Goku was losing to 20. Once Goku got his energy absorbed by the android, his heart virus kicked in even further than it already had, and Yajirobe takes Goku to his home. Raditz learns not to fire blasts because of this, and so he eventually hits 19 so hard that his head flew off. He then decided it was safe and atomized his body. 20 snuck up behind him while he finished 19 and absorbed his energy. With his power, he then flew away. However, he was stopped by 2 Super Saiyans. Vegeta and Nappa. Each of them was stronger than the android himself, even with all the energy. Nappa held him down whilst Vegeta threatened him. Just as he was about to be killed, 20 used his knowledge of Vegeta's arrogance and told him that there are stronger androids. Vegeta agreed to let him activate them, and so he led him to his lab. Meanwhile, Trunks and Letter returned to the past where they talked to everyone and told them that those were not the right androids. They also explained that they had already defeated their androids and came to make sure everything was okay here, as the time travel didn't really work how they thought it would. This is because they had been training due to the 3 years, and eventually with the 3 of them grew strong enough to win against the androids. 20 released the artificial humans who then killed him and released 16, and now we've got 3 androids to deal with. Vegeta and Nappa attempt and actually do good against 17 and 18. Raditz attempts to join in but is actually bodied by them. When Vegeta and Nappa begin to lose is when Trunks and Letta swap in and go Super Saiyan, easily bodying all 3 of the androids. Even with there being 3 androids and them all being stronger than their androids, they've been getting far more significant gains than Trunks did in canon. With this, they then kill them and end our android saga. And I am really tired of saying androids. Goku is happy to hear the news once he's recovered, and Trunks and Letta go back to their timeline, with Cell never happening. Now I'm sure you guys are wondering why Cell would never happen, or you've seen through the obvious. This is because in an alternate timeline where Cell is supposed to kill Trunks after he defeats the androids, Cell actually dies. As I said before, the 3 Half Saiyans actually beat the androids before they even went back in time, and thus couldn't tell them until the 3 years was done. By the time they come back, when Cell shows up, he wouldn't catch anyone off guard, and he'd be far weaker than all of them. There is no way I see any of them dying when all 3 of them separately would beat Cell, and they'd never be out in the open like Trunks was in canon. So long story short, Cell never comes to the main timeline because he is easily killed by Trunks and the others. Now, back to the main timeline. During the 7 years of peace, Gohan goes back to studying to become a scholar. All the Earthlings still train, Goku and Vegeta battle multiple times with the winner varying each time. And Icarus and Letta begin training with Goten and Trunks as well. Goku and the other Saiyans still discover the Super Saiyan grades and reach Super Saiyan 2 as well. It just takes longer. However, an unfortunate downside to this is that they are all much weaker than in canon. Anyway, let's skip up to the Buu Saga, in which everyone will be entering the tournament. Other than 18, because, she's dead. Everyone else does though, and Spopovich and Yamu still attack, with everyone going after them once Shin reveals himself. This time though, Vegeta has to go Super Saiyan to beat Pui Pui. Raditz ends up being the one to fight Deborah, and he pretty much easily kills him. Babidi then tries to control someone, however no one here is evil, as Vegeta and Nappa have both toned down quite a while ago. So when Babidi attempts to take either of them over, it immediately fails. The group then hunts Babidi down and kills him. After that, the Supreme Kai takes Majin Buu's egg to his planet and offers for the Z Fighters to train with him. Raditz denies this offer as he wants to stay with his family, but Goku, Vegeta, and Nappa all want to go. The 3 of them take turns training with the Z-Sword and sparring with the Supreme Kai, though as Super Saiyans they easily surpass him, so they'll mainly be using their base form when sparring. Eventually, someone breaks the Z-Sword, and the Elder Kai offers to unlock everyone's potential. Nappa wouldn't accept the offer once he learns of the time, as he is impatient and doesn't want to wait a whole day, and so he goes back to Earth. However, Goku and Vegeta both accept the ultimate form, seeing it as ways to surpass each other, and 2 days later they've both achieved far more power. They thank him and then go back to Earth where they immediately begin fighting. Sometime after that, Beerus wakes up and begins searching for the Super Saiyan God. And that's where we'll leave today's episode. Both the Cell and Buu Sagas have been cut extremely short due to the changes in this What If. Hopefully you guys liked the part anyway though, and next time we'll be starting Super, but hopefully not doing all of it. But as always, tell me if you liked this part, tell me what you think will happen next, comment your requests for future videos, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, have a great day.